And a user can only have a one gaming profile. So let's do that. Let's close all of this and this also, and let's just copy the content here because we might need it in the create gaming profile page. Let's close this and create a new folder inside app folder called create gaming profile. So now create a new page.tsx file here and export default async function and call this create gaming profile page. Let's not include the page text and paste the content here. So let's just format it correctly. So we need to actually have a new const session here and it will get from await auth. Okay, and we need to, let's just remove this or we might need it, so let's import it also. We can later decide if we need this or not. And let's delete this because we are going to create a create gaming profile form here. So if I now save it and go to localhost create gaming profile page, we should now see the create team text here. Okay, we are seeing it and we need to change it here. Text say create gaming profile. I now save it. Okay, it's now reflecting the correct text. So let's create a new form here and inside components let's add a new folder create gaming profile and create a new file here. Say create gaming profile form.tsx. So let me just quickly create it. Okay, so I have created our structure of create gaming profile form. So it is looking like this. You can check the code. I have states here: country, game, rank, platform, in-game name, description, experience, and a bio. And this is my form here. If you look at the code, it's super simple. You can pause and check it and also check the GitHub repository for the same. So I have commented these, the state errors and the state message. Let's also add state.errors ampersand here, and also for the create team form also. Do we have it? We don't have it. We need to add this state.errors ampersand and save it. So here is the structure of our create gaming profile page. Next we need to create an action called create gaming profile action. Let's just create it in the actions and let's create a new file called user.ts and create the action here. Let's also mark this as use server because it is necessary, otherwise our form submit will not work. So export default async function and call this create gaming profile action. Will receive real state of type action state and a form data of type form data, and it will return a promise of type action state. Let's just create the errors array of type string array and initialize it with empty array and return the action state success as false and errors as errors and message as empty string. Okay, we have triple R in our errors. Okay, so now let me just quickly create the variables and the field validations for our create gaming profile action. Okay, so I have added the variables and validations here. You can look at it. And I am console logging here variables to check if everything is working or not. Let's link our create gaming profile action to create gaming profile form. Let's uncomment it here. So it will look like this. We need to import the action state and we are good to go. Let's add action here to our form and add the form action. Let's just also import it, our action. So everything is good. And I need to check if we have a submit here type button. Let's also uncomment this and we have a type submit button. Okay, so let's add this create gaming profile form in our page. So here we need to say create gaming profile form, and just like that we have added our create gaming profile form to our create gaming profile page. So if I now save it and everything is looking good, so this is our create gaming profile form. And let's test it. Let's pass the values and first open the command prompt. Okay, now let's select India, country, taken it as game, current rank silver, PC, and in-game name would be, let's call it sample 123. Bio should be cool and sample description and sample experience. So if I now click on create button, the logs should be visible in the command prompt. Okay, we have properties, bio as cool, in-game name 123, country India, rank silver, platform PC, sample description, sample experience, and game, that is Tekken 8. So this is working correctly. Let me just also add a margin here because currently it is sticking to the div here. So let's move it a bit. Let's say instead of 4, margin top of 8. Okay, it's now good. So now let's work on adding a user ID in our custom action that we need to create. So let's first create a custom action async function. Call this custom action and it will receive a prev state of type action state and a form data of type form data, and it will also return a promise of type action state. And here we need to say return await create gaming profile action and pass in the prev state and form data. Next we need to append the user id form data dot append, let's call it user id, and here we need to get it from the props. Let's just say user id and we need to pass the custom action here. So custom action, and let's import the user id here. User id of type string. Okay, so we need to pass it here. So user id equals user id, currently it is in format of object id, we need to convert it to string here. Okay, so now if I save and let's just import the variable here, const user id equals form data dot get user id in string user id as string. Okay, also we need to add it the validation for it. So let's just copy paste and change it to user id and say user id not found. Okay, let's remove the console logs here, or maybe let's just test the user id here. So we can just say console.log and print the user id here. If I now save and let's just open the terminal, and if I now refresh and select the games here and sample 1 2 3, cool, sample description and sample experience. If I now click on create, okay, user id is printing, so we have successfully linked the user id also. So now let's just remove the user id from here and console logs, that is create gaming profile in database here. So let's create a new object called, let's just call it new gaming profile of type user gaming profile type, and just pass the fields here. So we have bio, let's just start with in game name bio, then we have rank, country and platform, game and description, experience, and user id and convert it to object id dot get from hex string and pass the user id here. Okay, so I have successfully created our new game profile object. Next we need to create a function in our lib MongoDB folder that will create the gaming profile of user, just like the create team function. So in the lib and MongoDB folder, we need to go to the user.ts here, and we can just copy paste from team.ts. Okay, this line of code is not needed. Let's remove it and let's copy the function here and paste it here. Also, we need to change some things here. Let's say new gaming profile of type user gaming profile type, and it will return a boolean, and we need to change it here. Say gaming profile type, and the collection name would be gaming profile. Let's just say gaming profiles and insert the new gaming profile object here. Then we need to update user with new gaming profile. So here we need to pass the users and update. We need to pass the user id here. So new gaming profile dot user id, and it is in the form of object id. That's correct. Then we need to call set here. So set, and we are going to update gaming profile id and set it to insert result dot inserted id, and then we need to return the acknowledgement. So let's also rename the function create gaming profile and save it. Also, we need to close the connections of our client that we are not doing. So let's do it here, or we can just do it later, because we also need to commit the changes that will be very clunky. So we can do it later if I don't forget it. So now let's just call the newly created function here. So const result equals to await create gaming profile from lib MongoDB user and pass the new gaming profile here. That's all we need, and we need to check if result is true. Then we need to return success as true, errors as errors, and message as successfully created the gaming profile of user. And if it is false, then we need to push an error here that will say failed to create user gaming profile. That's all. So if I now save it and let's look at our Create Gaming Profile form, everything is looking good. And also we need to update the error messages here. Failed to get user ID by email. Need to say failed to create gaming profile of user. Let's just copy it and let's say in database and same in here in database. Also we need to update the teams because we have copied it, so let's update the here also. Fail to create team in database. So save it and let's just test it. So open the console log here and let's just refresh the create game profile page. Then we need to select country and game would be Apex Legends. Rank current is gold. Platform is PlayStation. In-game name, let's set it to sample123. And bio, let's just say cool. Description will be sample days and experience sample experience. So let's just click on the create button and we should see the successful created message here. So let's see. Okay, successfully created the gaming profile of user. So now let's see in the database. Let's refresh. Okay, fingers crossed. We should see gaming profiles. Okay, we are seeing gaming profiles. And we have game name sample123, bio cool, rank gold, country India, platform PlayStation, game Apex Legend, description sample description, experience sample experience, and a user ID that is correct, C8C772. And we need to check the ID here with user, so it is 4089. Let's just confirm it. Okay, we have gaming profile ID that is 4089, that's correct, and everything is good. We have C772 here and let's just confirm it. We have C772 here. Okay, so we are successful in creating our create gaming profile form and page. So now let's do the commits also. So we have git status and here are the files that we are changed and added. So modified actions team.ts, components create team form, and lib team.ts. Let me just learn a git diff here. Git diff head, and here is the changes. So we have team.ts file, added errors.push, and we have create team form file that we have modified. So let's just commit these two files first. Let's just say git add, and it is actions team.ts. What it is actions team.ts, and another one is where it is create team form. So where it is create team form, that is from components. So components create team and create team form. So we have added these to file. Let's git status one more time. We have changes to be committed and changes not staged for commits. So let's just first commit the error messages in our create team form and actions team.ts file. So git commit -m, let's just say add error messages in actions team.ts and components team create team form.tsx tsx files. So let's just commit it. Let's just look at log. and we have solved create conflicts and add error messages. So now let's just run git status one more time, and let's just run git dev also. Then we have team.ts and we have updated error messages. So let's also commit this. So git add the file name, that is lib mongodb team.ts, and git commit shm update create team function error message. So let's just commit it and get status one more time. Okay, so now we have changes not staged for commit, that is modified user.ts, and we have new files created. So let's commit this now. So git add dot and git commit dash m. Simply we need to say create gaming profile page and feature. So let's just commit it. Let's run git status one more time. Okay, nothing to commit. Let's just push to the origin. So git push origin main and press enter. So now our changes have been pushed to GitHub. Let's refresh it. So we have create git gaming profile page and feature. So let's look at our commits here. We have added add error messages in actions.team, that is currently fine. Then we have update create team function error message. Then we have create gaming profile page and feature. And we are successful in creating the create gaming profile page. And also in our user.ts files create gaming profile action, and we need to check here if there is a gaming profile exist in the user. So if there is one, we don't need to create the gaming profile, because a user can only have a one gaming profile, and if there is not, we can just simply create gaming profile with our function. So let's do that. So we need to create a new function in our lib mongodb user.ts file. Let's just copy it and paste it here. So let's rename it to check game existing user gaming profile, and let's just pass the user id here of type object id, and here we need, let's remove this and remove this also. Let's just say const result equals await db dot collection, and collection would be user gaming profile type, and collection name is gaming profiles, and we need to find one, and that would be user id filter. And let's just rename our result variable here to gaming profile, and we can just return if gaming profile is null, then we need to return null, and else we can just return the true here. And we need to modify our return here, so instead of boolean, let's add null also. So now errors has been gone, and let's modify our error messages here. Failed to check for existing user gaming profile. Let's just copy it and paste it below. And we are done with it. Next we need to import it here. So let's just say const check result equals await check game existing user gaming profile, and we need to pass the user id. So we have new, we can just say object id dot create from hash string, and we need to pass the user ID here. So if check result is null, then we need to create the gaming profile here. Let's just move the code to inside if statement, and else we need to push an error here. Say gaming profile already exists in user, or we can say you already have a gaming gaming profile created. Let's just say that, and let's just test the functions here. So minimize this and open the console log. Let me just refresh it and quickly select some variables here. So PUBG, rank iron, PC, sample 1 to 3, bio cool, some random text in description and experience. So if I now click on create, I should see the error message here. So you already have a gaming profile created. So everything is fine, and let me just delete it. So everything is good. So now we also need to close our client collections from MongoDB in our files that we have forgot to do. So let's do it now. But before that, let's just commit the changes here. So we have, let's push the changes. So let's run git status. So we have modified actions user.ts and lib mongodb user.ts. So let's git add dot and git commit dash m. We are currently working on the main branch. So let's just say add check for existing user gaming profile in database. Let's just commit it and push the code to GitHub with git push origin main. Okay, so we have successfully pushed the code to the GitHub. Now let's add the closing of our client connection. So finally await client.close here, and we need to add it to all files. So let's copy it and paste it here, also here, and in the team also, team.ts file. So here there is only one function here, that's okay. And we have error, failed to get user by email, client must be connected before running operations. Let me just restart my dev server here. So terminate, clean, and npm run dev. So if I now go to localhost homepage and go to create gaming profile page, okay, everything is fine. Or there is some type error I have seen. Module is not a function. So if I now refresh it, we are seeing some error. Okay, I have figured it out. What the problem is, actually this is returning us null. So we need to delete this and we need to cut it here, and we need to say const client equals this. And if we now save this, every time we are calling the get mongodb function, we are connecting to it. That's just weird mongodb behavior. I have created a singleton pattern, but that's not working, but this is working. So we need to close this and we need to refresh the local status. And if we now go to create gaming profile page, we are not seeing any errors, so this is working fine. So let me just commit the changes here. So git status, and we have modified a couple thing. So git add dot and git commit dash m solve or fake client not connected error in create gaming profile page. So let's also push this code to GitHub. So git push origin main and git status and git log and see the history. Add check for existing user gaming profile in database, fix client not connected error in create gaming profile page. So if you now look at our GitHub repository and refresh, fix client, okay, everything is good. So now we have added our MongoDB client close statement. Next thing we need to do is add a check statement in our register action that checks if a user is already registered with the email or not. So let's do that. Let's close this, and inside our auth.ts, here we are registering the user directly without checking there is a user with the existing email. So let's create a new function in our lib mongodb auth.ts file, and we need to copy this and paste it below and rename the function check existing user with email, and it will receive a user id or email. It will just receive a email here, and we need to check the user with email, and we can just return true or false. So if user is not null, we need to return true, and if user is null, then we need to return false, and also modify the return type of function to boolean. And we need to update the messages here. Failed to check for existing user with email in database. Let's copy it and paste it below. So here, paste it here, and let's just save it and use this function in our register action. So here we need to check. So const result, let's say it check result equals await check existing user with email, and pass the email here. So email, so if check result is false, then we need to register the user here. So move this inside if statement, and else we need to push an error here. So errors dot push, and let's just say user with email address is already exists, maybe login instead. Let's just say this message user with email address is already exists, maybe login, maybe try to log in instead. And we also need to push an error here if insert result is false. So here we need to say errors dot push failed to register user. Let's save, and let's just test it by going to auth register route, and we need to pass some random name. So sample one to sample name maybe, and pass our existing user email. So at xyz@gmail.com, password 123 or 4 anything, and age also anything, let's say 23. So if I now click on register button, it should warn me that a user with email address is already exists. So let's click it, and it is saying user with email address is already exists, maybe try to log in instead. So that's the correct behavior. Let's just commit this change also. So open git bash and git status, and add git add git commit dash m, and say add check for existing user by email in register page. So let's also push the code to GitHub. Git push origin main, and it has pushed the code. And let's refresh the GitHub repository, and there is the correct commit message. So now we have created the create gaming profile page and fixed some errors and added some error messages and a MongoDB client close statement. Next thing we need to do is add a find players and find teams page. So let's do that.